A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant political triumph, President Donald Trump has successfully pushed through a contentious tax and spending bill in Congress, marking a pivotal moment for his administration and the Republican Party. The bill, which passed with a narrow 218 to 214 vote, is set to fund Trump's immigration crackdown, make his 2017 tax cuts permanent, and introduce new tax breaks that were promised during his 2024 campaign. However, the legislation comes with substantial trade-offs, including cuts to health and food safety net programs and the elimination of numerous green energy incentives. According to the Nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office, CBO, the bill is projected to add $3.4 trillion to the nation's already staggering $36.2 trillion debt. Despite apprehensions among some Republicans regarding the bill's hefty price tag and its potential impact on healthcare programs, only 2 out of the House's 220 Republicans voted against it after a tense overnight standoff. The bill had previously cleared the Republican-controlled Senate in a razor-thin 51-50 vote, with Vice President J.D. Vance casting the tiebreaker. The White House has announced that President Trump will sign the bill into law at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on July 4th, coinciding with the Independence Day holiday. Republican leaders are touting the legislation as a means to lower taxes for Americans across the income spectrum and stimulate economic growth. House Speaker Mike Johnson described it as jet fuel for the economy, asserting that it would benefit all Americans. However, every Democrat in Congress opposed the bill, condemning it as a windfall for the wealthy that would leave millions uninsured. House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries delivered an impassioned 8-hour speech, the longest in the chamber's history, criticizing the bill for prioritizing tax breaks for billionaires at the expense of everyday Americans. Throughout the legislative process, President Trump applied pressure on lawmakers, using social media to express his discontent with any hesitancy among Republicans. The final version of the bill includes significant tax cuts and aggressive healthcare reductions compared to an earlier draft. While the legislation raises the U.S. debt ceiling by $5 trillion to prevent a default, concerns are mounting among investors about the long-term implications of the increased debt load, which could lead to higher borrowing costs. The CBO estimates that the bill will reduce tax revenues by $4.5 trillion over the next decade, while cutting spending by $1.1 trillion, primarily affecting Medicaid, which provides health coverage for 71 million low-income Americans. The bill's provisions would tighten enrollment standards and impose a work requirement, potentially leaving nearly 12 million individuals uninsured. Although Republicans have allocated $50 billion for rural health providers to mitigate the impact of these cuts, analysts have warned that the wealthiest Americans will reap the most benefits from the bill, while lower-income individuals may see their financial situations worsen due to the loss of safety net programs. The legislation is likely to play a prominent role in the upcoming 2026 midterm elections, with Democrats hoping to leverage public discontent over the bill's provisions to regain control of Congress. As the debate continues, many Americans are expressing concerns about the bill's costs and its effects on lower-income populations, raising questions about the future of healthcare and social support in the United States. This legislative victory underscores President Trump's firm grip on the Republican Party, despite the internal divisions and apprehensions surrounding the implications of this sweeping bill. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.